I'm about to share 4 praises that are incredibly effective, completely different from what most men say, and women often find themselves thinking about them long after. The best part? These are not cheesy pickup lines or strange tactics. They're rooted in real psychology and tap into what women secretly hope a man notices about them. But I need to warn you before we go further. These are called forbidden praises for a reason. Once you use them on a woman, things can't go back to how they were. They leave a lasting impression that doesn't fade quickly. Think about this. How many times have you given a woman a compliment only to receive a polite smile in return? You know exactly the smile I mean. It's paired with a soft thank you that basically ends the conversation. And here's the truth most men completely overlook. If she's attractive, she's probably heard "you're beautiful" so many times recently that the words don't even register. It's like handing someone a small participation award. Nice, but it doesn't change her pulse. It doesn't make her see you differently, and it certainly doesn't make her curious about you. Consider this. If someone said "nice shirt" versus "there's something in the way you carry yourself that makes people notice," which one would stick with you? Which one would make you wonder what exactly they see in you? That's the point of what we're talking about. These praises stay in her mind. They make her think, replaying the moment long after you've walked away. I'll be honest, as a woman, I know exactly how our minds react to these kinds of remarks. I know the curiosity, the overthinking, the little spark of excitement that comes when something is said just the right way. So what I'm giving you now is real expert knowledge. These aren't compliments about looks or clothing. Anyone can say that. These go deeper. They touch where emotions live. They make a woman feel truly noticed in a way that makes her want to understand the man who said them. The first forbidden praise is, "You have this certain feeling about you that I can't quite figure out yet." It sounds simple, almost too simple, but let me explain why it works like magic. When most men give a compliment, they finish the thought for her. "You're attractive, funny, smart." Done. She gets it. But this praise isn't an answer. It's a question disguised as a statement. It creates a tiny mystery in her mind. When you tell a woman she has a feeling you can't figure out, what you're really saying is, "There's something unique about you, but I won't tell you exactly what it is." And that drives women absolutely crazy in the best way. Her mind instantly starts racing. What feeling? What did he notice? What makes me different? What does he see that others don't? And every time she thinks about it, she thinks about you. Here's a real example. I was at a small gathering once, and instead of the usual, "You look lovely tonight," a man said, "You have this calm presence that makes the whole room feel more comfortable. I noticed it the moment you walked in." I thought about that for weeks, replaying it over and over. Was it the way I moved? The way I talked? The calm energy he noticed? And every time I tried to figure it out, I found myself thinking about him again. That's the power of this praise. It plants a thought that keeps growing. Here's how to use it properly. Timing is key. Don't just approach someone randomly with it. It works best when you already have a bit of connection in the conversation. Maybe she said something clever, laughed in a certain way, or surprised you with something she shared. Or perhaps you noticed how she interacts with others. You can make it more specific too. Instead of just feeling, try, "You have this way of making people feel at ease, and I can't figure out how you do it." Or, "There's something in the way you see things that's unlike anyone else I meet." And here's the key. Once you say it, don't explain more. If she asks, "What do you mean?" just smile and say, "I'm still figuring it out." That one line will hold her attention for the rest of the night. The second forbidden praise goes even deeper. "I feel like you're the kind of person who has stories most people never get to hear." This one is brilliant. Every woman feels that parts of her remain unnoticed. Maybe she looks like a partygoer, but secretly loves astronomy. Maybe she listens to old jazz while everyone assumes she likes pop. Maybe she writes poetry or is thoughtful in ways others miss. When you tell her she seems like someone with hidden stories, you're essentially saying, "I see there's more to you than people notice." And that is incredibly attractive. Here's why it works. First, it makes her feel intriguing. Not beautiful, not funny, but engaging. Second, she wants to show you those hidden parts. She wants to prove you're right. I experienced this myself once. A man said, "I bet you have at least 3 hobbies nobody would guess." I immediately started listing my quirky interests, true crime podcasts, collecting old postcards, secret obsession with 90s boy bands. I shared so much because I wanted him to know he was right, and the more I shared, the more curious I became about him. He saw something deeper than appearances, and it drew me in. Here's how to use this one. Use it when she shares something personal, even if small. Maybe she mentions a book, reacts unexpectedly, or hints at something she usually keeps private. Tie it to the moment. Instead of stories, you could say, "You seem like someone who's traveled to places most people wouldn't think to visit." Or, "You seem like someone with hidden talents people would never guess just by looking at you." Then let her speak. Women naturally feel more connected to people they share real things with. This praise creates both curiosity and closeness. Praise. And this one is the most intense. I might not be sure if you're going to be really good for me or a little dangerous. This one must be said with belief. Don't rush it. Don't say it nervously. Speak slowly, calmly, with a slight smile. Here's why it works so well. Most compliments put her in the position of power. When you say, "You're incredible," or "You're the most beautiful woman here," you're giving her approval and waiting for her response. But this praise flips that dynamic. Suddenly, she's wondering what you mean. She's curious about what you see and how you are judging her. You are no longer the predictable man trying to impress her. You are the man deciding whether she fits into your world. Women find that highly attractive because it shows you have standards, options, and self-control. It also tells her something else. It suggests she has an unpredictable, exciting side, something that could affect you. It praises her charm while showing you aren't easily overwhelmed by it. Women love men who remain steady and grounded, even when they feel drawn to someone. This praise works best when she does something daring, like a witty remark, teasing you, or showing confidence in a surprising way. Deliver it then and watch her expression change. Dangerous here isn't an insult. It signals that she has a kind of power that can shake up your world, and that kind of woman is very tempting. I remember once a man said something like this to me after I made a playful comment about the drink he chose. Instead of brushing it off, he looked at me and said, "I'm starting to think you might be dangerous for my peace of mind." That one sentence stayed in my head for days. I kept wondering what he meant. Was I really dangerous? In what way? Did he like this kind of danger? Was it a positive thing or something to be cautious about? And every time I thought about it, I ended up thinking about him and how he saw me. That's exactly the effect you want. It keeps her thinking about you long after the moment ends. The best time to use this line is when there's already playful tension. Maybe she teased you, challenged you, or did something bold that caught your attention. The way you say it matters. Say it slowly, with a small smile, as if you're genuinely trying to understand her, surprised by her more than expected. It should feel natural, not rehearsed, thoughtful, curious. Here are some examples. If she challenges you about something, say, "I'm starting to think you might be trouble." If she does something unexpectedly sweet after teasing you, try, "I can't tell if you're an angel or about to completely ruin all my plans." If she shows quick thinking or sharp wit, say, "I think you might be dangerous for my focus." The beauty of this praise is that it sparks curiosity while showing confidence. She wonders what you meant, yet you aren't giving her the typical empty compliment. You show interest while keeping your balance, and that balance creates real attraction. Finally, the last forbidden praise, and perhaps the most powerful, is, "You think differently than anyone I've ever met, and I can't tell if that will inspire me or drive me crazy." This praise is like a masterclass in subtle psychology because it acknowledges something most women wish someone would notice: their mind. Most compliments focus on appearance or behavior, but this one highlights thinking. When you appreciate how her mind works, she pays full attention. Consider how often women are praised for intelligence with, "You're smart." Nice, but basic. When you say she thinks differently, you're saying she is not only intelligent but unique. Her mind operates in a way that stands out. Then the second part, "I can't tell if that will inspire me or drive me crazy," creates tension and curiosity. You're telling her her mind is powerful, exciting, and unpredictable, and that you're drawn to it. I experienced this once. After explaining a quirky theory about why people choose certain coffee drinks based on personality, a man said, "Your mind goes places mine never would. I'm not sure if that's fascinating or a little scary." I was hooked. He wasn't just praising my intelligence, he was saying my way of thinking had a real effect on him. It made me feel interesting and powerful at the same time. This praise works for several reasons. It makes her feel intellectually attractive. Most women hear compliments about looks, but admiration for the mind is rare and meaningful. It also shows you're not intimidated by intelligence. Many men feel uneasy when a woman shows deep thinking. This line shows the opposite. You enjoy it even if it challenges you, which sparks curiosity. She wonders, inspire him how? Drive him crazy in what way? What is unique about my thoughts? Use this praise when she shares an idea or viewpoint that surprises you. Maybe she solves a problem in a way you didn't expect or has a fresh perspective on something. Use it when she's passionate, whether about work, hobbies, or beliefs, and you can see her thinking in action. This isn't for small talk, it's for moments when she lets you see how her mind moves. You can say things like, "The way you think about that is so different from mine, I don't know whether to be amazed or slightly worried." Or, "You look at things in ways I never consider. Spending time with you might completely change how I think." Or, "Your perspective is so unique. You might teach me something incredible or completely confuse me." And here's the secret. After giving this praise, show real curiosity. Ask her more about her thoughts. Let her talk. Listen and engage. When you combine admiration, curiosity, and subtle tension, she will remember not just what you said, but how it made her feel. That's the power of forbidden praises. They linger, make her think, and connect her mind to yours in ways ordinary compliments never could. A woman feels a true connection when someone genuinely sees and values her mind, not just her looks. That kind of recognition creates a bond much deeper than simple attraction. All four of these forbidden praises share some important qualities. First, they create a sense of mystery. Instead of giving her every answer, you provide hints of what you notice and let her imagination do the rest. Second, they make her feel unique without putting her on a pedestal. You're not worshiping her, you're genuinely interested. Third, they naturally shift the dynamic. Instead of you trying too hard to impress, she begins wanting to show more sides of herself because of the thoughtful things you noticed. Fourth, they go beyond surface-level flattery. They speak to what truly matters: her presence, her layers, her complexity, and her thoughts. Most importantly, they are sincere. You're not pretending or playing games. You're noticing details most men overlook and expressing them in a way that sparks curiosity. You're not just giving ordinary compliments. You're becoming the man who sees what others don't. You become the man she wants to understand better. So there you have it. 4 powerful, almost forbidden phrases that can make you unforgettable to a woman. But remember, they aren't magic tricks. They work because they come from real interest. Don't just memorize the words, understand the meaning behind them. Pay attention to each woman's unique qualities. Notice the little things most men miss and speak to them in a way that creates intrigue instead of stating the obvious. If you do this, leaving a lasting impression will feel natural, not forced. If this helped, tap the like button, subscribe for more insights into real dating psychology, and let me know in the comments which of these 4 phrases you're most excited to try. This is your girl, Remy Renee, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay real, stay curious, and watch what happens when you use these thoughtfully.